Let me ask you something. What does happiness mean to you? Is it the fleeting joy of a good meal, a beautiful sunset, or a moment of celebration? These moments are wonderful, but true happiness goes much deeper than that. True happiness isn't just an emotion, it's a lasting state of contentment. It's the peace that comes from within, no matter what's happening around you. You see, happiness isn't something that's dependent on external circumstances or events. It's not about waiting for the next big moment to happen. True happiness is an internal foundation. It's how you feel about yourself, your life, and your ability to navigate the world with purpose and fulfillment. So let me tell you something. Happiness is a mindset. It's a way of being, a way of thinking, and a way of seeing the world that's anchored deep inside. When you tap into this internal state, the world can change around you, but your happiness will remain untouched. Now let me make something clear. Happiness is not the same as pleasure. Pleasure is a momentary feeling, something that comes from external stimuli, a new purchase, a night out with friends, or achieving something on your to-do list. Those things are great, but they are temporary. True happiness, on the other hand, is not fleeting. It's a long-term feeling that comes from living a life aligned with your values, purpose, and desires. It's the quiet contentment of knowing that no matter what happens in life, you are at peace with who you are and where you are. Pleasure fades, but happiness is built on the foundation of fulfillment, meaning, and inner peace. So stop looking for happiness in the next pleasure-filled experience. Look within. Look at the way you're living and whether it aligns with your deeper sense of purpose. That's where true happiness lies. Let's face it, happiness isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. We need it for our mental health, for our relationships, and for our success in life. Without happiness, we are left with feelings of dissatisfaction, stress, and frustration. When we're unhappy, we struggle to maintain healthy relationships. We feel disconnected from others, and we lose the drive to push forward toward our goals. But when we embrace true happiness, we unlock a world of possibility. We feel energized, motivated, and ready to face whatever challenges come our way. Happiness is not just an emotional state. It's a mindset that shapes how we live. It impacts the way we interact with others, the way we pursue our goals, and the way we handle the inevitable obstacles in our lives. The happier we are, the more resilient we become. And here's the truth. Happiness is a choice. It's something we decide to create every single day. So if you haven't made happiness a priority yet, I want you to make that choice today. The best part, you don't have to wait for anything to change. You don't have to wait for anything to change. You don't need a new job, a new house, or a new relationship to be happy. The journey toward true happiness begins today. Happiness is something you can start creating in this moment. It's not dependent on any future event or circumstance. It's a choice you make right now. The first step to a happier life is simply deciding to commit to it, no matter what. So I'm challenging you right here, right now. Choose happiness today. It's not something you need to chase. It's something you can create from within. Let's get started. Listen closely. Your mind is powerful. The thoughts you think shape the way you feel and the way you experience the world. If your thoughts are negative or focused on what you don't have, then that's exactly what you'll see in your life. But when you shift your mindset, everything changes. The first step toward happiness is taking control of your thoughts. You see, our brains are wired to focus on the negative. We naturally look for problems, and we can easily get caught up in worry and fear. But let me tell you something. You don't have to live like this. You can change your thoughts. You can start thinking about what you want, not what you fear. When you do, your emotions will follow and your actions will start to align with the life you want to create. So ask yourself, what thoughts are you feeding your mind with? Are they uplifting and empowering, or are they holding you back? The choice is yours. Now let me give you a tool that will change everything. Challenge negative thinking. How often do you allow those inner voices, those self-doubts and fears to take over your mind? Too often, we're our own worst critics. We tell ourselves that we're not good enough, that we can't succeed, or that happiness is for everyone else but us. But you have the power to challenge those thoughts. Every time you catch yourself thinking something negative, I want you to stop and ask, is this really true? Here's the thing, 99% of the negative thoughts that come into your mind are not based on fact. They're assumptions, fears, or remnants of past experiences. But they don't define who you are, so challenge them. Replace them with thoughts that empower you, that lift you up, and that remind you of your true potential. If you don't challenge this negative thinking, it will control you. If you do, you'll begin to take charge of your mindset and your life. One of the most effective tools for shifting your mindset is reframing. Reframing is the practice of changing the way you look at a situation, turning a negative experience into a learning opportunity. Let me give you an example. Let's say you didn't get the job you were hoping for. In the past, you might have seen this as a failure, but with reframing, you look at it differently. Maybe this wasn't the right job for you. Maybe it's an opportunity to grow, to learn new skills, or to find a better path. By changing your perspective, you take away the negative charge that holds you back. You start seeing challenges as opportunities, not obstacles. And let me tell you, when you practice reframing, you'll find that every challenge becomes an opportunity for growth, and your outlook on life will shift from limitation to possibility. Let's get practical. I want to give you a few actionable tools you can start using today to shift your mindset. Every morning or evening, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They can be small things like a good cup of coffee or a friendly conversation, or big things like your health or a fulfilling relationship. Gratitude trains your brain to focus on the positive. Start your day by repeating affirmations that align with the person you want to become. I am enough. I am worthy of happiness. I am capable of achieving my goals. Take time to check in with yourself. What are you thinking and feeling? Are those thoughts serving you? What do you want to change? These practices are simple, but they are powerful. When you start using them, you'll see a shift in your mindset, and that shift will create ripples in every area of your life. Let me tell you the story of someone who turned their life around by shifting their mindset. Imagine someone who was constantly battling feelings of inadequacy and failure. They felt like they were stuck in a job they didn't like and couldn't find a way out. But then they made a decision. They started challenging their negative thoughts, reframing their challenges, and shifting their mindset to focus on possibility and growth. Over time, their outlook changed. They found new opportunities, gained confidence, and ultimately transitioned into a career that aligned with their passions. This person didn't have any external magic happen. They simply changed the way they saw the world, and as a result, the world started changing around them. And guess what? You can do the same. The only thing standing in your way is your mindset. I want to challenge a deeply ingrained belief that many of us carry around. Happiness is something we get from the outside world. We often think that happiness is tied to things, money, a new house, a promotion, or even a perfect relationship. We chase after these external factors, believing that once we acquire them, we will finally feel happy. But here's the truth. Happiness is an inside job. External things can bring temporary pleasure, but they can't provide lasting happiness. Why? Because happiness doesn't come from the things we acquire. It comes from how we choose to perceive and respond to the world around us. You don't need a perfect life or perfect circumstances to be happy. You have the power to create happiness from within, no matter what is happening in your external world. Real happiness is not dependent on someone else or something else. It's a result of the mindset you choose to cultivate every day. Let me be clear. If you're waiting for external conditions to change before you can be happy, you will always be waiting. Happiness starts right where you are. It begins with you. Here's something that might be difficult to hear. You are responsible for your own happiness. I know it's tempting to blame others, your circumstances, or the world for your unhappiness, but the truth is, you hold the key. No one can give you happiness. They can only be a part of it. You might be saying, But what about everything that's happened to me? Or what about my struggles? Listen, I understand that life can be tough. We all face challenges, hardships, and moments of doubt. But your response to these challenges is what determines your happiness. When you stop relying on others to make you happy, you reclaim your power. When you stop blaming external factors for how you feel, you empower yourself to create a life filled with meaning, joy, and fulfillment. So take responsibility. You have the power to change how you feel, and once you recognize that, you begin to change the trajectory of your life. The key to your happiness is in your hands. Don't let anyone take it from you. Let me ask you, how often do you find yourself blaming circumstances for your unhappiness? Maybe it's your job, your partner, or your situation. Easy to point the finger and say, if only this would change, I'd be happy. But here's the truth. You can't control everything around you, but you can control how you react to it. When you take full responsibility for your happiness, you stop being a victim of your circumstances. You stop waiting for the world to change before you do. You recognize that you are in charge of how you feel. Think about the power of that realization for a moment. When you stop waiting for everything to be perfect and start taking control of your life, you unlock a whole new level of freedom. You choose to create your own happiness, no matter what's going on around you. If you continue to let life dictate your happiness, then you're leaving your well-being in the hands of circumstances you have no control over. But if you take charge, you begin to shape your life the way you want it. Taking responsibility for your happiness might sound like a big task, but I assure you it's entirely within your reach. Here's how you can start: set boundaries. Learn to say no to things that drain your energy or bring negativity into your life. Protect your emotional well-being, practice self-care, make time for yourself. Whether it's exercise, meditation, reading, or simply resting, prioritize your mental and physical health. Make intentional choices. Every day, choose actions that move you closer to the life you want. Make decisions based on your values and what will bring you joy, not based on fear or obligation. Let go of the past. Don't let past mistakes or regrets hold you back. Learn from them, but don't let them define your future. Taking ownership of your happiness means that you actively engage in your life. You make decisions that nurture your well-being and bring you closer to your true desires. Happiness isn't passive. It's a conscious choice you make every day. Let me share a powerful example of someone who took full responsibility for their happiness. Imagine someone who spent years blaming their lack of happiness on their job, their family situation, and external circumstances. But one day, they realized that their happiness was within their control. They began by setting boundaries, saying no to things that drained their energy, and focusing on what truly mattered to them. They took up a hobby they had always been passionate about, started practicing gratitude, and made intentional choices to improve their life. Within months, their outlook on life shifted. They weren't waiting for things to improve externally. They took responsibility for their joy, and in doing so, they created a life that brought them fulfillment. This transformation didn't happen overnight, but it did happen because they stopped giving their happiness away to things they couldn't control. They chose happiness, and they made it their own. You can do the same. The moment you take responsibility for your happiness, you take back the power to change your life. And that is a power you should never underestimate. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools you can use to transform your life. Too often, we focus on what's missing in our lives, the things we don't have, the goals we haven't achieved, the people who have hurt us. But what if we shifted that focus? Gratitude works by changing your perspective. It helps you see the abundance around you rather than what's lacking. When you focus on what you have rather than what you don't, your happiness expands. Gratitude rewires your brain to see opportunities, blessings, and joy in every situation, no matter how small. When you embrace gratitude, you unlock a whole new world of positivity and fulfillment. Now, you might be wondering, does gratitude really work? Well, let me tell you, it's not just some feel-good concept. There's actual science behind it. Studies show that practicing gratitude can have a profound impact on your mental health. It has been linked to reduced stress, improved well-being, better sleep, and even stronger relationships. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. It helps you focus on what's going right in your life instead of what's going wrong. The more you practice gratitude, the more your brain naturally starts looking for the positive in every situation. So don't just take my word for it. The science backs it up. Gratitude works, and it can help you cultivate a deeper sense of happiness. Let's talk about some practical ways you can incorporate gratitude into your daily life. Gratitude journaling. Every day, write down 3 things you're thankful for. They can be small, like a warm cup of coffee, or big, like a loving family. Gratitude meditation. Spend a few minutes each day focusing on the things you are grateful for. Let those feelings of appreciation fill your heart and mind. Express thanks. Take time to thank people in your life, whether it's a friend, colleague, or family member. Let them know you appreciate them. The more you practice gratitude, the more natural it will become. And as it becomes natural, your sense of happiness will grow. Here's a powerful way to use gratitude to shift your mindset. Reframe challenges as opportunities for growth. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures, view them as valuable learning experiences. For example, maybe you didn't get that promotion you were hoping for. Instead of focusing on disappointment, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? Gratitude allows you to see the silver lining in every situation. It helps you transform what could be seen as a setback into an opportunity for growth, learning, and resilience. I want to share a real-life example of someone who transformed their life through gratitude. This person struggled with anxiety, stress, and a sense of dissatisfaction. But when they started practicing daily gratitude, something incredible happened. They began to see the positive in every situation. They noticed how much love and support they had in their life. They began appreciating the small victories, things they had once overlooked. With time, their mindset shifted from scarcity to abundance. They felt more at peace, more content, and ultimately happier. Gratitude turned their life around, and it can do the same for you. So, start today. Practice gratitude and watch your life change. Let me tell you, use something that will change the way you think about happiness. Connection is a key pillar of true happiness. Human beings are wired for connection. We thrive in relationships, whether romantic, familial, or social. In fact, the quality of our relationships has a direct impact on how fulfilled and happy we feel. Think about it. How much happier are you when you're surrounded by people who support you, encourage you, and make you feel understood? And how much heavier does your life feel when you're isolated, disconnected, or misunderstood? Happiness isn't just about you, it's about how you connect with others. We are social creatures, and emotional fulfillment comes from meaningful connections that foster love, trust, and shared experiences. It's easy to get caught up in the rush of life, but the happiest people are those who prioritize relationships. They invest in quality connections, knowing that the love and support of others are what help us truly thrive. They give our lives meaning, purpose, and joy. So let's talk about how you can build the kind of relationships that bring you lasting happiness. Building meaningful relationships is an art, and it's not something that just happens by accident. It requires intentionality, vulnerability, and effort. But let me tell you something, it's worth every ounce of effort you put into it. The first step is trust. Trust is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. Without trust, there's no connection, no understanding, no growth. Trust is built by showing up consistently, by being reliable, and by being open and honest. It's not built overnight, but with time, it becomes the bedrock on which strong, lasting relationships are built. If you want strong relationships, you have to give respect and expect respect in return. Mutual respect creates a safe space where people feel heard, valued, and appreciated. When you respect someone, you listen to them, you understand their needs, and you act with their best interests at heart. The third element is understanding the ability to see the world through another person's eyes. This is the essence of empathy. When you truly understand another person's thoughts, feelings, and experiences, your bond deepens and you create a relationship that withstands time and challenges. Meaningful relationships are built on these three pillars: trust, respect, and understanding. Let me leave you with this. Happiness is in your hands. It's not something you wait for. It's not something that will just happen to you one day. It's something you create every single day through your thoughts, choices, and actions. Happiness is yours to cultivate. You have the power to choose it, to create it, and to live it. Here's your challenge. Make the decision to be happy today, right now. Stop waiting for the moment or the perfect circumstances. Happiness is a choice. Imagine a future where you wake up every day with purpose, passion, and fulfillment. A future where your relationships are strong, your mindset is positive, and your life is aligned with your deepest desires. That future starts today with the choices you make. Small changes today can lead to profound transformations tomorrow. You have everything you need to create the happiness you deserve. It starts with a choice, and that choice is yours to make. Your happiness begins now. Take control,